Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Predictions with PCJ. I am your friend and host as always, PCJ, the Pop Culture Junkie here, talking about WWE Extreme Rules. Well, let's see, how extreme are they really going to get? But we have seen a little bit more edgier content in the last couple weeks on Raw especially, not so much SmackDown, just because of course Raw was always known for being the more edgier show. Even though they're both on USA now, they're on the same channel, it's like, why not have the same kind of content? But at the same time, there's the good side to having Raw and SmackDown not have the exact same kind of content, because you want to have a little difference in the show, even though they have now merged the rosters from both shows together and there is no brand split anymore. So we're talking about the most recent couple of Monday Night Raws. Let's see. Last week we had Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and we saw Strowman run through Lashley into the back of the LED stage and destroy it, and fireworks went off like crazy. Yet miraculously, this week on Raw, Bobby Lashley comes out looking just fine and in great shape to battle WWE legend Rey Mysterio. So they're trying to get a little more excitement, edgier, as they say, and at the same time, their continuity is still atrocious. Now, talking about edgy content, let's talk about what happened in the main event last week on Raw. We had Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins in a mixed tag match against Maria and Mike Kanellis. Who exactly? Maria, of course, very famous from the Diva Search era. She later on went to New Japan and Ring of Honor and so forth. She's been in other companies, and then she recently came back to WWE a few years ago with her husband Mike, and they signed, like a 2 or 3 year contract. Where have they been? What have they been doing? Well, she basically became pregnant right after they debuted in either 2016 or 2015. I can't remember what year it was, but it's not that important. Either way, she had a baby, or she was pregnant within just a matter of months after they came back to WWE, or she came back to WWE. So it was very odd, peculiar that they had, the ability to sign on, get pregnant, and then she was off TV because she can't be, wrestling while pregnant. Even though she's not really a wrestler, she was always, a diva more so, but this is when they had divas wrestling, of course. So anyways, we had a mixed tag match where we get the announcement during the match that Maria is pregnant. She can't be touched by Becky Lynch, of course, because Becky's like, oh, I can't hurt her. She's going to have a baby. Then she proceeds to put the disarmer on Mike Kanellis to win the match. Her and Seth take off after winning, and then we get Maria on the mic cutting down Mike Kanellis, insulting his manhood, saying, I'm pregnant, but there's no way you were man enough to get me pregnant, even though they have a kid already. That's the storyline they're going to go with. I don't know where they're going with this. And then this week on Raw, they continue it by having them in the backstage on a couch. He's trying to win her back with flowers and make her feel happy and good, and she's demanding ice cream and wants the typical sardines or whatever it is. And then when he does go get her pickles and ice cream or whatever it was she was trying to get, she's like, I can't eat this. So they're obviously making fun of the mood swings. And hey, as somebody who, as you all know, I just recently became a father. Actually, we're celebrating his 1 month just yesterday. And so yes, everything's going great, by the way. But as somebody who went through the whole process of a wife who was pregnant, and you experience different emotions and you go through different experiences when you're pregnant, they're really milking the stereotypes of that. Who knows what they're going to have them do next week if they continue this. Well, obviously they're going to continue this. But they re-signed Mike and Maria for like a 5-year, because they're locking down everybody as much as possible for these 5-year contracts, which is crazy. They're going to say like, oh, we just want to have all the talent we can have to, make sure we can have, people for SmackDown and Raw and pay-per-views and NXT and all that. And it's like, well, I think you're really just trying to lock down anybody so that they can't get picked up by AEW. Even though AEW doesn't want everybody from WWE, there is a lot of great talent that WWE has and is not using properly that could benefit going to another company such as AEW, and AEW can benefit from having that talent. Say, for example, Nakamura, Rusev, okay, just to name a few. Asuka, okay, lots of talent that they're not using properly that would highly benefit going over to a company like AEW. So that's the edgier content we're getting right now. On top of that, of course, we had the swear word from Corey. Ooh, that was crazy. Corey Graves got to say "holy shit" on Raw last week during the firework explosion when Braun and Bobby Lashley crashed the LED screen. We didn't get any real curse words this week. Yeah, they throw around the word bitch a lot, which that's not really that bad of a word because it's always on Raw or SmackDown sometimes. But yeah, I don't know what else they're going to do from here. We'll see if they try to, do something else to get it more edgy or what. I don't know yet if Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff are officially in charge of Raw and SmackDown behind the scenes, and we have them to thank for these new changes in the recent weeks, so we will have to see. Again, they've only been announced as executive producers. They have not been officially announced as, yes, they were on the show, handling the show tonight, yay or nay. So we're still a little clueless on what's exactly happening in that neighborhood. But let's get to the main point for why you all are here. We're talking about my predictions for this weekend's WWE Network live stream show, WWE Extreme Rules 2019. We've got a stacked card. 10 matches have been announced. Let's go through them quickly and share with you my thoughts, predictions. And please remember to leave me comments below and share your predictions on what's going to happen at the pay-per-view itself during any of these matches as well. So starting off, we've got the WWE Raw Tag Team title match. The Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder versus the Usos. How many times are the Usos going to be automatically thrown into a tag title match? Okay, they either win the titles or they're always contending for the titles. I get that they are a great tag team, and that's fine. But can we get some other teams replaced in that spot? Can the Usos do something else? Can they get some kind of other storylines going? Keep in mind, they've kind of dropped the story on this, but just a few weeks ago, the Revival was getting pranked by the Usos repeatedly before they won the tag titles, and they've kind of forgotten about that, but maybe this is some kind of retribution they're going to get out of this. But keep in mind, they have not been showing the recaps of those videos where they put the Usi hot, they took pictures of them shaving one of their backs in the shower. I mean, they've completely dropped it. They didn't mention it on Raw this last week at any chance, so not sure why they couldn't replace this with another tag team. I'm going to go with a Revival, okay? They've got Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. They're kind of building a stable, even though they're not really calling themselves a stable yet. But I'm going to go with the Revival. They need to get the win, retain the titles. Next up, we got a last man standing match, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. Of course, we had the Falls Count Anywhere match 2 weeks ago on Raw where they crashed through the LED screen. And yet, you would think, with all the explosion and realism they made with that, you would think these two would be out of action for a month or two, or maybe not till SummerSlam. But no, we got to have a Falls Count Anywhere match get watered down by having them go straight to a pay-per-view with a last man standing match. I am not a fan of last man standing matches. I think they are boring. I don't understand why or how anyone can say this is exciting to watch two guys fight and then you have to stand and wait for your opponent to try to get to his feet before the count of 10. It's just, I mean, the only times they've been kind of exciting at all was when they weren't really happening, which was like early 2000. We had Jericho versus Kane in a last man standing match, which they really hadn't done many of them at the time. Now we've had, like, 18 years later, there's been so many of these. I'm bored of last man standing matches. Just do a hardcore match. Just do a Falls Count Anywhere, whatever. Just do a street fight, whatever you want to call it. Just, okay, a hardcore, no DQ, Falls Count Anywhere, and get it over with. I'd rather see a pinfall or a submission rather than wait for the ref to count to 10 every time somebody is possibly laid out. So who's going to win? But at this point, I could see them literally crashing into each other with steel steps or chairs or whatever and just knocking each other out, and neither one gets to the count. But I'm going to say Braun Strowman's going to get the win. They're probably going to make him the big monster again to contend against Seth Rollins possibly for the Universal title. So I'm going to go with Braun Strowman getting the win there. Then we have the WWE United States title match, Ricochet defending against AJ Styles. This is one I'm actually looking forward to. It should be very good, but I'm really looking forward to this matchup. I think they can definitely put on an amazing show. I'm not sure if Ricochet is going to actually lose the title because look at how they're treating the club. They brought the club back together, but Anderson and Gallows still look like flunkies compared to AJ Styles. And you would think they want to make them look a lot stronger. But I do think they need to have AJ Styles win the title and get some gold, and then the club needs to win the tag titles from the Revival. But that makes no sense because you got a heel versus heel stable. I'm going to go with Ricochet getting the win here somehow. He's going to somehow get away. Maybe Gallows and Anderson try to interfere, and they cost AJ the match somehow. But I'm going to go with Ricochet getting the win here. We have Aleister Black getting his answer to somebody come fight me, and it's Cesaro who answered by knocking on his door. This match should be amazing. I wish this could be an NXT TakeOver show instead of at Extreme Rules. This match would be incredible. We've had Aleister Black for like 2 months straight following WrestleMania, or 3 months now almost, where he's just been sitting at a camera in the backstage, talking in whatever things, I don't know. It bores me to death sometimes because Aleister Black is not known for amazing promos. He's known for great matches, and that's what he should be doing the whole time, is putting on great matches on SmackDown or Raw, whatever. But, I mean, why do all this and just have Cesaro go over? So I'm guessing Black is going to get the win here. That'll be my pick there. Next up, we have a triple threat tag team match for the WWE SmackDown titles. Daniel Bryan and Rowan defending against Xavier Woods and Big E of New Day and versus Heavy Machinery. I'm going to go with Heavy Machinery as my pick, as the one I want to win, but I have a feeling it's going to be Bryan and Rowan retaining. New Day does not need to ever be near the tag titles anymore, just like the Usos. It's been done too much. The New Day should be broken up already. You know how I feel about that. I'm going to go with Heavy Machinery as my pick that I would like to see win, but I believe Bryan and Rowan will probably retain. Next, we have the Cruiserweight title match. Drew Gulak defending against Tony Nese. Seems like every other show we're talking about a rematch, even though there are no guaranteed rematches. But anyways, I'm going to go with Drew Gulak getting the win here. They put on a great match. That was a Cruiserweight title match, to me, was the best match of the night at Stomping Ground. So I'm looking forward to this again, so this should be good. Next up, we have a handicap match for the WWE SmackDown Women's title. Bayley defending against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Will we finally get Nikki Cross to realize that Alexa's just using her and they will end up not winning and Bayley will retain? Or is Nikki going to, actually go along with this and Alexa Bliss wins the match and the title with, Nikki helping her? I'm hoping it'll be Bayley getting the win and Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss split up, because I want Nikki Cross on her own. She doesn't need to be with Alexa. She doesn't need to be her lapdog. So I want Bayley to win just so Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross will begin their feud. Next up, we have the WWE title match, Kofi Kingston against Samoa Joe. I want Samoa Joe to win, but I'm sure Kingston's going to retain. I don't think Kingston's going to drop the title until at least SummerSlam. So I'm going to say I want Joe to win, but I think Kingston's going to win. Next up, we have what will probably be the main event, the last match of the night, Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre in a no-holds-barred tag team match. Seriously, what is a no-holds-barred match? If you know the full definition, or you have your own definition, comment, please, and share with me. I have no idea what a no-holds-barred match is. I know what no-holds-barred is. It's a 1989 classic cult movie starring the immortal Hulk Hogan and Zeus. But, really, no-holds-barred, what does it mean? It's just a street fight. It's a hardcore match. It's a no DQ, no countout match. I wish they would just get rid of all these names and just call it one thing and be done with it. Now, by the way, the show is in Philadelphia. The only reason that we have this match happening is because they don't want Roman Reigns to get booed out of the building in Philly, just like he did in 2015 when he won the Rumble. He got booed out of the building. And ever since then, whenever they're in Philly, they don't like Roman. Why? Because they actually cheer for who they should cheer for. They boo who they want to boo for. Unlike Michael Cole's, oh, these silly fans are booing who we normally cheer for, and they're cheering for people we normally boo. No, if we don't like somebody, there's probably a reason we don't like them, okay? And you should not try to push them down our throats anymore. So Roman Reigns is probably going to get the win here. He's probably going to pin McIntyre. I don't think Shane's going to take a loss, because I still have a feeling there might be a Shane versus Kofi Kingston match at SummerSlam for the title, where Shane will win the title. I'm feeling like that's the road we're on. We'll see. So I'm going to say Undertaker and Roman Reigns will get the win here. And last but not least, we have a last chance, winner-take-all mixed tag team match, Extreme Rules match, for both the WWE Universal Championship and the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, the champions, defending against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans. Now, think back to 1996. There was the 1995. there was the WWE champion, or WWF champion, Diesel, and the Intercontinental champion, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, scheduled to face Owen Hart and Yokozuna, the tag team champions. Winner take all. It was whoever wins the match, that team gets all the titles. So if Diesel and Shawn pinned either one of Owen or Yokozuna, they win the tag belts and they retain their IC and world title, and vice versa. If Yokozuna or Owen Hart pinned either Diesel or Shawn, then they keep their tag belts and they get that belt that they won, whoever they pinned. So if Owen had pinned Diesel, he won the world title. If he had pinned Shawn, he got the IC title, etc. That was really exciting. That was the first time they had really ever done that. This sounds so boring and stupid, especially because you have Baron freaking Corbin in the main event challenging for the what's supposed to be the second tier title of the company, the Universal title, because the WWE title should be the top title. And well, hey, we have Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. They have lost how many matches for these titles? That's why this is called a last chance, winner take all. But they've lost continuously. Every time they have a pay-per-view match against either Rollins or Becky, they have lost. So why do they keep getting these automatic rematches? This makes no sense. It is stupid. There are so many other people on the roster that you could be doing feuds with. On top of that, why, whenever a WWE superstar and female superstar get together, they decide, hey, let's put it on the show? No. Okay, no. We didn't need to see Nikki and John Cena on stage on TV as their couples. We did not need Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins' relationship to be put on TV as storyline. Leave that alone, okay? Let that be their personal life. If they want to date each other, that's their business. But we did not need this to be part of the show, and it's so bad. They have zero chemistry. Zero chemistry. Last Monday night was horrible. Not this past Monday. The one before that, when they had their backstage promos, it was bad. It's bad. I don't understand. They are a couple and they get along great apparently, and that's good. But wow, their on-camera chemistry is bad. So I don't want to see more of this than we have already seen. So I want Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch to win just because I don't want Baron Corbin to be Universal Champion at all, okay? I know Vince is like, the ladies love him. Who cares? This is a wrestling show, okay? Not a model show, okay? We got rid of the diva stuff, so who cares about the way the guys look, okay? Yes, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch need to retain, and no more. Corbin, go out. Just out, okay? Lacey Evans. She's great to look at. She was decent in NXT at best, but did she have any classic matches against anybody in NXT? Nope. And if you didn't have a classic match in NXT and now you're on the main roster, why are you challenging for the main title of that show multiple times? Makes no sense. So there we have it. That's my predictions for WWE Extreme Rules. Share with me in the comments below what are your thoughts on not only the show and the matches that we have to look forward to on this Sunday, but what do you think is going on with the actual product right now? How is WWE actually responding to the very credible competition looming in what is, AEW? They have other, wrestling companies and such that have come in and gone, and there's others that are still here, sort of, like Impact and Ring of Honor and such, but AEW, even though they say we're not really competing with them, they are. I mean, they're a wrestling company, okay? Just because one program of some type of sitcom is different from another sitcom, guess what? You're competing for viewers. You're competing for people to give their attention to your product. And AEW, no matter what, is competition. And competition is always great, in my opinion, because the biggest plus to me about the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars, was you had two companies both trying to get the most viewers because they wanted to be the best show, they wanted the most money, they wanted all this. And you know what? That was what made WWE become even better. Because let's look at what the new generation looked at from 93 to 96. Okay, let's look at that period there and then jump forward to 97 through 2003. Okay, let's talk about that area there. So I am so happy AEW is here, and I enjoyed their shows. I've enjoyed All In, Double or Nothing. I enjoyed those shows. I'm looking forward to other ones as well, and I hope to be able to watch the actual AEW weekly program whenever it hits cable in like October, I believe, something like that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Share with me your thoughts, though, on everything. Well, as always, I always ask everyone on Twitter to send me questions if they have any topics or questions they want to address, and we did get a few sent in, so let's check those out real quick. Now, just a reminder, I will be live tweeting during the entire Extreme Rules pay-per-view, so you can follow along with me on Twitter at PopCultureJunk2 and share with me, as we're watching the show, your thoughts on everything happening. All right, we got some questions here. Starting off, we have Kevin Haig asks, "Hey PCJ, what are your thoughts on Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff regarding their new roles, and do you think Extreme Rules should be replaced, as the matches are normally anything but extreme?" Kevin, great questions. Thank you so much for always checking in on the predictions and spoiler recap videos as well. So, first off, what are your thoughts on Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff? I love it. I'm intrigued. I think they also kind of wanted to lock them in. I mean, Paul Heyman's going to be there because of Brock, but I think they wanted to lock in, some people that might have been tempted to go help AEW. And it would have been really weird, though, if AEW had gotten Eric Bischoff, because it'd be a total, like, well, look, AEW is on TNT, and who's, behind the scenes? Eric Bischoff. Oh, it's all over again, WCW. Okay, but I am happy because I like Bischoff. I like Paul Heyman. They both have good ideas. They have, interesting ideas at times. But I think it's great that they're going to be part of something. The only bad thing is, no matter what, they still have to go through Vince. Everything is still, the final say is Vince McMahon. So we still have to worry about that. And your second question is, do you think Extreme Rules should be replaced? You put by Starrcade, if I could choose, as the matches are normally. Yes, exactly. I think I don't know about Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules is a weird pay-per-view name. There used to be some awesome names back in the day. We had Backlash, Judgment Day, Breaking Point. Okay, we had all kinds of different ones like that. We had No Way Out. I love that one. All types. But yeah, there are some weird names lately. Stomping Ground, that was ridiculous. We had Great Balls of Fire not too long ago. But if you're going to call your pay-per-view Extreme Rules, don't give me this, okay, one match is a hardcore match. One match is a street fight. Another match, no DQ. They're all the same matches. Okay? TLC should not even be called a pay-per-view. Because used to be we're getting, okay, this match is a chair match. This match is a table match. This match is a ladder match. But why are those matches? Oh, because the pay-per-view is called that. But why do these matches have that stipulation? Oh, just because they need to have that match on that pay-per-view. Okay, but matches have stipulations because a rivalry or a feud or a storyline led to that point. Okay? Undertaker and Shawn Michaels battled at Bad Blood 1997 in Hell in a Cell because they were continuously having matches in tag matches, or they were having a match at prior In Your House shows, and they were ending in DQ because they could not declare a winner, or they had outside interference from Triple H and China. They had all these other things happening. They had to put them inside of a giant cell to settle the score. That's why they had that match, okay? There's reasons that Stone Cold versus Triple H had a 2 out of 3 falls match, later known as the 3 Stages of Hell, at No Way Out 2001, because they had such a heated rivalry with the whole, I hired Rikishi to run you over and cost you the title back in 99 and all this stuff. So they had a major brawl with a cage match and a street fight and everything. There's reasons to have stipulations. The ladder match at WrestleMania 10 with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, they had to have that because Razor had the IC title. Shawn had his IC title, even though he was technically fired in real life, but he was refusing to defend it. That's the storyline. So they had to put both belts on top of a ladder and declare a winner that way. There's reasons. So yes, I think the names of the pay-per-views are ridiculous whenever they're called Extreme Rules. Then yeah, you better have every single match be Extreme Rules, or your main event had to be Extreme Rules because of a storyline purpose. Great questions, Kevin. Okay, we got Josh Floberg asking, what are your expectations of this show? I think it will be decent. I was very surprised with Stomping Ground because I went in with very low expectations, so I think this will be a decent show. It has a few matches I'm interested in, especially Ricochet versus AJ Styles. I'm intrigued to see what they do with Braun and Lashley to top the LED disaster thing that happened on Raw. And I'm real curious to see the ending of Baron Corbin and Lacey against Becky and Rollins, because I'm really wondering if they're going to try to put the titles on Lacey and Baron for a little while and take the belts off of Rollins and Becky at the same time. That'd be funny. He also asked, do you think any titles will change? Only title I think might change will be one of the tag belts, and then possibly the U.S. title. That's the only two I think will change. How hard do you nerd? Ask, is it really the end of the PG era? Actually, I think this pay-per-view is a really good test to see whether or not they are going to be getting rid of that PG era stuff, because Extreme Rules means you should have wild, hardcore matches with the possibility of people actually getting busted open. You're not going to get chair shots to the head necessarily. Okay, WWE is really big on the concussion thing, which is great. They should be, but there's always the possibility of getting a kendo stick to the head and then somebody's bleeding from that or something. So I think this will be the first real test to see if they're going to start to move actually further away from that PG stuff. I don't know. I think this pay-per-view is going to be the first real test to see if they're willing to move out of that PG era. Thanks a lot for everyone sending in your questions. Make sure you check out my spoilers, recap, and results video I'll be posting Sunday evening following Extreme Rules. I'll be sharing all the spoilers, recap, and results of the pay-per-view, my thoughts and everything that happened. So you can check out that video on YouTube and follow me on Twitter, PopCultureJunk2, where I'll be live tweeting throughout the entire pay-per-view. And then if you want to send me questions or topics to bring up on the recap video, do so, and you'll get a shout out. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for the predictions with PCJ. I thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone that does watch the show will enjoy it, and we see some exciting matches and some interesting results. Till next time, this is your friend and host, PCJ, the Pop Culture Junkie. I'm signing out.